Hi everyone, welcome back to the Unskilled Beautician. We are back after a 2-week hiatus. I'm so sorry about that, by the way. I had a couple of work emergencies last week that prevented me from filming, but I'm going to try not to let that happen again. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to be switching up brands. Instead of using our Maybelline BB Cream and Fit Stick, we're going to be using a brand called Unique. I really like this brand. The products are really lightweight, they're really comfortable, they're not tested on animals. A lot of good things happen with this brand. You should check it out. So we're going to start with a foundation look. I initially was going to do one big look with all my products. However, that would just take a really long time, and after my 15-minute video, I promised I was going to try not to do that to you guys again. So instead of doing another 20 or so minute video, I'm going to break it down into steps. And this week's steps is the face. So to start, I'm going to be using this Touch Glorious Primer. I really like it. It's a nice little gel-like substance, and it just kind of helps your foundation go on smooth and evenly, and helps prevent people from seeing like the cracks and maybe some pores. So what you do is you just put about this much or so, maybe a little more, a little less depending on your face, on each finger. Your top four, not your thumb. What I like to do is I like to start by rubbing my pinkies together like this, and then rubbing underneath my eyes to kind of fill in all those little cracks. I then do the same on my ring fingers, but I do my cheek area next to my nose because I have some rather large pores there, and that just kind of helps them fill in so they're not as prominent. Then take my other two fingers and I hit the spots that I actually hit with my BB cream over the last couple weeks, and I just kind of rub it in so it's kind of sitting on top, so my foundation will go on nice and smooth and even. Okay, awesome. So now I'm going to take my liquid foundation brush. I did also get this from Unique, but what you want to look for is just a really dense, thick brush. I like this one because it's flat, so it blends really well. But, you know, play around. If you have one you really love, use that. It's whatever works. So I find that I like to use a BB cream and foundation combo. I'm not changing that part. Instead of just using the BB cream as like a primer, I'm actually going to blend it with my foundation. Now, one of the things I like about this brush is, if you can kind of see, it has a little divot in the middle. So that is where I put my BB cream. Just nice and little divot, about that much or so, just to kind of lighten up my foundation a little bit. It makes it a little more lightweight, changes the color up a little. Alright, so now I'm going to be using my Touch Mineral Liquid Foundation. I find personally I like liquid foundations. If you prefer powder, go ahead. There are plenty of really great powder foundations out there. But I like this one because it's just kind of nice. It has a nice little dropper. Oh dear Lord. And it just kind of blends really well and sits on my skin really nice. So the color I have is Taffeta, but you can figure out what you like. What I like to do then, I need to get some product in there. I squeezed it all out during my demo. Is I just put a drop or so on like 5 or 6 spots on the brush in like a circle almost. I'll show you guys in a second. Sometimes I go over a little twice just to kind of get some brushes. So it kind of looks like that. And then we're going to hit those spots. I do 2 dabs on each cheek, one high, one low, just because I find it blends better. But, you know, and sometimes if I have excess product, I'll do both sides of my forehead. Just because it makes it a little more even. And then you just start blending. The nice thing about this product is it really covers a lot. Like, you can kind of see where I stopped blending on my forehead. When I only started on the one side, you could kind of see that it was totally like a different color, which is nice because that way you know it's really, really good coverage. But at the same time, if you don't blend all the way, it's really, really obvious. So I do have my little friend the mirror I'm going to be checking to make sure it's even. Be blended, blend up into your hairline so you don't get that telltale line that, like, hey, this is where I stopped my foundation. Which kind of makes it nice. And I just kind of go all over, blend it up, back and forth. I like downward strokes because that's the way my hair grows. My hair is not very thick or prominent, but if you rub it weird, you can kind of see it, and that's not attractive. So. Into my eyebrows. I do like to blend my foundation into my eyebrows because I do go over with an eyebrow pencil so you can see it. And this way it doesn't look like you stopped just above your eyebrows. All right, I think that's pretty even coverage. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use concealer. I love concealer. Concealer is my friend. Don't ever think that it's not. You're gonna take your blending sponge and you're gonna make sure it's wet. Squeeze it all out so all the excess water comes out of it. As you can see, mine's been a little bit used. But that's okay, that's what it's for. I had already wet mine, so it's a little bit bigger than normal, but that's what you gotta do. I then like to take my concealer. This one's also a unique concealer, and it's also in taffeta. And what I do is I squeeze it up on the little thing like that, and I just kind of put it on my eye like so. I then let it sit while I do my other eye, like so. And then as you can kind of see, I have a couple little problem spots, so I put a little concealer on those. And then, cool. So then in the order you applied your concealer directly to your face is how you're going to want to blend it. So I'm going to start with this eye. You just take the pointy end of your blending sponge and you just tap back and forth, going up and down, until it's all blended in. If you get some on your waterline, you can totally take it off, or you can blend it out, or you can just cover it with some eyeliner. Whatever floats your boat. Cool. So you can kind of see that's packed in a little bit. I like the color on this just because I feel like it's more my natural color, and my eye circles are so dark that it doesn't totally hide them, so it doesn't look totally unnatural. So I'm then going to do the other side and back and forth. Make sure you're really getting in there up close to your eye, because otherwise you can totally tell where you stopped the concealer, and again, we don't want that. Alright. Cool. And then we're going to just do the fat end of your sponge. You're going to blend the other spots. And just tap up and down, move it in circles. It's not perfect. No makeup look is foolproof, especially because mine are kind of red. Seeing as they are popped and healing. But that's okay. It just kind of helps cover them up a little so they're not as prominent when you like take pictures and stuff. Yay for the selfie. Alright, and then on my forehead. But yeah, it gives you a really nice full coverage look. Blends in really well. That's part of the reason I like to use the color that I use, is because it blends together really nice with my BB cream and everything. So that works out really well for me. Okay, very good. So that is it for today. Next week, we're going to take the same foundation look and we're going to add on some eyeshadow to it. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you again for watching.